My name is Billy Linstead Goldsmith. I'm the Director of Fair Trade Campaigns, and we are so happy to be able to bring this conference to you virtually in the face of this new reality we all find ourselves in. We know that everyone is stressed out and concerned about this pandemic. Most of us are dealing with the uncertainty of a canceled semester, juggling kids suddenly at home all day, partners with uncertain work circumstances, as well as concerns for the most vulnerable members of our community. Our goal is for this virtual space to be where our community can come together and take a moment to focus on something other than the fear and anxiety running through the world. What better way to keep our heads above water than to create a space to focus on a truly interconnected global movement? So we invite you all to lean into this with us, into something positive and constructive when the world feels like anything but. We need to express our gratitude to a number of people and organizations as this last-minute shift from the logistics of an in-person conference to virtual has taken a Herculean effort, and our Fair Trade Campaigns team could never have done this on our own. First and foremost, our conference planning partners at Meet Green, who have been leading this conference planning process from day one, leading our logistics, and have helped be incredible partners as we've made this shift to virtual. Our longtime partners at the Nonprofit Leadership Alliance and Digitel, who literally stepped in on Wednesday of last week to provide this entire incredible digital platform to make this happen. Our colleagues at Fair Trade USA, who have stepped in every place needed and offered help at every turn. All of the speakers who've adjusted their schedules and availability on the fly over the last week to make sure that we can provide this amazing content to everyone. Our incredible team of fellows that work with so many of you on a day-to-day basis to build successful efforts on your campuses and in your communities. And especially our sponsors who are currently weathering this shift with us while facing unbelievable challenges to their businesses, their supply chain, their sales, their retail locations, etc., but have remained so invested in the work that you are all doing to grow this movement that they stuck with us. So we're going to run through our sponsors and thank each of them right now. Fair Trade USA, our presenting sponsor. Simple Truth at Kroger, our organizing sponsor. Our supporting sponsors at Aramark and Chartwells, Gavinia Gourmet Coffees, Numi Organic Tea, Wholesome Sweeteners, Wholesome Produce. Our advocate sponsors at Bon Appetit, at the Fair Trade Federation, Mater Bumi, Patagonia Provisions, and TerraThread. And we want to call out three of those in particular as Wholesome Sweeteners, Numi Organic Tea, and Gavinia Gourmet Coffees. We're so looking forward to being our coffee, tea, and sweetener sponsors at the conference. All of the coffee that we were going to be drinking, all of the tea, all of the sweeteners, as well as the coffee and tea and sweeteners being used in the hotel rooms were all being provided by those sponsors. So we want to give them a special shout out and special thanks for their support, both with the product they were going to give us and give all of you, as well as their financial support. We also have a whole group of promotional partners, organizations that helped get the word out about this conference, that helped drive registration, and that helped share the mission and vision of Fair Trade Campaigns with their audiences. And finally, our campus partners. So many campuses that leveraged their own campus resources to help provide registration costs and travel costs to students, faculty, and staff to be able to join us at the conference. And we're glad that so many of those are still able to join us in this virtual setting. We have a few asks for all of you. Throughout the conference, please help us spread the word on social. Our hashtag is hashtag FTConf2020. That's hashtag FTCONF2020. As you no doubt hear inspirational messages, quotes throughout the week at the conference, please push that out on social using that hashtag. And after the event, please share your experience using that hashtag on social. As a last word, please remember that in this time of a global interconnected crisis, we all need to take care of each other in our communities. Staying home right now saves lives. And we hope that with the content available from this conference for the next 60 days, that this virtual conference can be one of the many ways to stay connected while we stay at home. So with that, let me hand it off to my colleague, Kylie Nealis, who so many of you work with and have been connected with for so long, supporting your campaigns on the ground. to share a little bit about the state of the Fair Trade Campaigns movement and where we've gone since our last conference.
Great. Thank you, Billy. I'm so happy to be here with all of you, and I look forward to sharing some successes, accomplishments, and really celebrating our work, growth, and impact over the past year. Today, there are over 345 fair trade campaigns on campuses and in communities all across the United States. We now have active fair trade town campaigns in the biggest cities in the country, representing over 20 million people. College and university campaigns have also grown dramatically. There are now 63 designated college and universities across the United States, representing over 500,000 students. As many of you know, campuses continue to be where we see the most momentum, and I'm very proud to say we now have 180 campaigns on college campuses across the United States. We would not have seen this incredible growth without our partnership with Chartwell's Higher Education, one of the major food service providers in the United States. They have committed to sourcing fair trade products at all 280 of their campus accounts and have rolled out fair trade campaigns for an initial cohort of nearly 70 accounts over this past fall and this spring. We're so excited to bring in these new campaigns to our network. Since last year's conference in Chicago, we've seen a lot of accomplishments across the network that we're very proud of. We have critical mass in the University of California system, with 5 of 10 campuses now designated and another 3 well on their way. Manhattan launched their Fair Trade Town campaign in partnership with the New York City Fair Trade Coalition. Once they designate, they'll be one of the largest fair trade towns in the country. And just last week, the University of Alabama at Birmingham recently became the first fair trade university in Alabama. We're so excited to see campuses like UAB really putting fair trade on the map. And we have fair trade campaigns still on 5 of the largest campuses in this country: Arizona State, Texas A&M, UCLA, UCF, and Michigan State. We look forward to bringing on many more large campuses and reaching even more students through our campaigns in the coming year. And last but certainly not least, Los Angeles will soon declare as the largest fair trade town in North America. We are so proud of all of the work that the Fair Trade LA team has done to make this happen. We're grateful to all of our advocates here with us at the virtual conference and around the country for your great work this past year. We look forward to seeing what we can accomplish together moving forward, starting with our first ever virtual conference this week and in the coming days and months. Thank you.
And now we want to introduce your MC. Ben Canard will be guiding all of us through this program over the course of the week. Ben is a longtime fair trade advocate. He led an effort on his campus at SUNY Geneseo, as well as being one of our national leaders as student co-chair of the Fair Trade Colleges and Universities Steering Committee. He was named one of the top 10 biggest fair trade advocates in the world, including the #1 advocate in the US. And from there, he founded 5 North Chocolates, which is an award-winning certified LGBT business enterprise that supports cocoa farmers around the world by creating delicious, nutritious, fair trade certified chocolate snacks. Ben recently took a role as a partnerships associate at the Clinton Foundation. He is a longtime friend of fair trade, a lifelong fair trader, and we couldn't ask for a better MC to guide us over the course of the next few days. So with that, Ben Canard.